Hello, fellow gamers, and welcome to the Progressive Gamers Podcast, your one-stop shop for all the gaming news you need to know about. My name is Rick, your host for today, and by my virtual side is a returning guest. Welcome to the podcast garden.
Hello.
And to our virtual side is another returning guest. It's Dody. Hello,
Hey,
Dody. So sorry, everyone. I was out for a long time. I got sick, but I've been getting better. So I'm back to bring you the big news that you need to know about since a month now. So since I was out, there was a lot that happened in the gaming industry. So we have like 10 stories for you today. So
it's gonna be a good one.
yeah, it's a big one today. So welcome back. So first off, let's start with the reacting to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom trailer, which is gonna be releasing tomorrow. It's already the reviews are out. It's got a 96 on Metacritic, so the critics are very, very positive on it. So let's start by watching the trailer. Are you guys excited?
Yes, I'm very excited.
So this is Zelda Tears of the Kingdom last trailer. Let's start.
Yeah, already we're up in the sky. You can see a big liftoff from the last game is with the sky right here highlighting that,
Such a beautiful.
Is this one still open world, right?
Yeah, and it uses the same map of the original one with a new sky scraper thing, like sky island, and they have also a new underground, which I hear is as big as the original map.
Wow.
That's really cool.
That is insane. So in the old games they had the grottos, but it sounds like
The new
the
glider.
underground.
Well, now everything that you've done in the first game evolved from years after the first game. I hear some places have been taken by pirates. Some places have evolved since the first game.
When you say first game, you mean Breath of the Wild, right?
Yes, because this is a
Okay.
direct follow-up to Breath of the Wild, which is one of the
Oh,
first time we
okay.
get a direct follow-up in a Zelda
So it's like
game.
it's like a continuation.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
So you
Yeah, I
beat
can't-
Calamity Ganon
Have
in
they
the
ever
first
done
game?
that?
No, never.
No.
Right.
So you
That's really
see
cool,
the
man.
effect. Oh wow! Look at these big puzzles. They look
Wait,
insane.
that has to be really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, this part right
Huge
here with the
enemies.
giant. Yeah, it makes me.
Castles. Oh my god.
Can you imagine if it was like Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah, imagine if you got some huge enemies like this.
Yeah, good combat like that.
And look, there's narration too.
Right, I watched this earlier. Yeah,
And now with the new flying
Wow.
things, yeah, because you can now build vehicles and stuff. Oh my god.
Wow. Do they have similar concept like in the previous game as well? Like
Not
Yeah.
like that. Not pushed
the
like
mechanically. When you say similar concept, do you mean mechanically, right? Or do you mean like what do you mean?
no, I mean like things like for example like the cooking aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, the crafting got expanded a lot.
Something only I can do.
Something only I can do.
Do not look away. You witness a king's revival.
Right, this is some Princess Mononoke stuff.
Yeah.
It makes me feel
like
like
the
this
corruption.
does. Yeah, is Link actually Ganon, or like what's with that scene right there? Bum, 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 bum.
All the allies
Alone.
from the first game.
Please.
Yeah,
This looks really good though. If that's like the graphics of it, it kind of looks like an anime type.
Yeah, they really
But,
kept
like,
the
3D.
design from
Yeah.
the first game. It
Yeah,
really doesn't
like
look
that's really good.
that much better than the first game.
No, well,
Okay.
no, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look graphically changed. It looks like, you know, it looks like they focused on giving you the shell, like a game with Breath of the Wild to play through, but it looks like this one's going to be much more expanded, much more like detailed. Like they took a lot of the assets and a lot of the concepts and like finely tuned it.
It's gonna release
Yeah.
tomorrow. I'm very excited to play it. Like the reviews are great. They say it expanded a lot on the first one.
Yeah.
So they say the dungeons too. You know how the dungeon in the first one was pretty much just the four beasts. They say that now they expanded to huge dungeons like the old Zelda and
So
stuff.
yeah, so I want to comment on that. So the Ocarina of Time had the 11 dungeons. Yeah, 11 dungeons. Oh no, 12 dungeons. Yeah, 12 dungeons in Ocarina of Time. But Majora's Mask only had 4. And Breath of the Wild absolutely felt more like a Majora's Mask overworld
In
playthrough.
the bus style, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just as far as like game game setup, game progression, I guess we'll say. And now it seems like they went to more dungeons that are detailed, fleshed out, and pack a bigger punch that all kind of come together, which is what I think made Ocarina of Time such a success was its sense of milestone progression through each dungeon. You know,
And the
you really felt like
exploration and too, like they give you new tools. They give you tools to fly and
tools,
stuff.
yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
exploration I hear is like pushed to another level. So even though they use the same map as a base point to do the second game and evolve on it, what I hear is that the changes are just worthwhile. And it's like,
yeah, I
really
could see vehicles. I can see vehicles changing the scope of what players can interact with, which translates to just a sense of bigger world. So like, yeah, I'm not hung up on the fact that it's the same map from the other one. And in fact, I've always asked the question. I've asked the question before: why have they never done a continuation? So for them to finally do it now feels so climactic.
And it feels like they focused on so much other stuff because the graphics are pretty much like looking alike. Like the map is used as a framework. It's like they spent all this time being creative. So I really like to see what they did with the new Zelda, and we'll see tomorrow. It's coming out really soon. So I'll leave you the impression that I have when I get my hands on it next week.
What do you think, Garden?
I think that I like the idea that there's a continuation because they didn't just end the game and then like a new game. It's like a different concept or a different storyline. It's that they kind of just continue off from like the previous game. I really like that. Yeah.
And like, what do you feel about being the same map? Like, don't you feel that?
I don't really feel like that's a problem. Although it would have been nice if they added more, like if they added more to the map or something like that. Like
Yeah, they did.
okay,
Like
if
expanded the
that's
borders, like you mean pushed
Yeah.
it out?
Yeah, 'cause
yeah, like
the way they
make
did it
more
is
stuff, yeah.
go up and down.
Oh, you mean
Okay.
on? I think yeah, we were thinking XY, but you're thinking Z axes. So, yeah.
Yeah, if they add more to it, like I think that's good because like having the same map is kind of like still having that same previous game, but like continue off. Yeah, so
Adding depth adds depth to the game.
The second story this week, there was a big state of play that we missed a couple weeks ago. It's Final Fantasy 16 focused state of play. I don't think there's anything else than Final Fantasy 16, but this is supposed to explain what you need to know about the game before it comes out. Because the game is coming out in June or July. It's pretty soon. It's coming through the summer, and this is the time that they decided to show like all the information about it. So let's watch it together and see if the hype goes up for this new release. I know, Garden, you played the Final Fantasy 15, right?
Hmm.
Did you
Yes.
enjoy your
Yes.
time with it?
The lands of Valithia.
Hmm. So this is Final Fantasy 16 on the Sony State of Play. Let's watch.
皆さんこんにちは。
Hello everyone, this is Naoki Yoshida, producer of Final Fantasy XVI, and welcome to the State of Play. Today, I'm here to talk a little bit about the story, world, and combat system of Final Fantasy XVI, as well as reveal all new information regarding the game's wide variety of RPG elements and support systems. We'll be talking you through everything while using never-before-seen gameplay footage running on the PlayStation 5. I hope you'll stay with us until...
Yeah, this is gonna be PlayStation 5 exclusive on consoles.
With that, let's get started.
Ooh, it looks good already.
We're going back to medieval times with this one.
Target.
Yes.
She was dominant. And only the dominant.
I like their medieval
Focus.
time storylines, like Final Fantasy Tactics. And stuff.
I don't think this is medieval per se. This seems like Iron Age, like right after. Like it seems like a bunch of medieval stuff got built on top of.
I said
Mhm.
focus, Wyvern.
Like all the armors, all the villages that you see.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
They're
not
all
fully
like
a medieval. I know
medieval
what you mean.
team.
but yeah, it's
Yeah.
medieval. Like it's like, but it's like there's a sub. It's like a subcategory of medieval. Like
Well, it's fantasy.
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 16 is
Well,
the
yeah,
latest
but I mean,
installment
like-
in the Final Fantasy series.
okay, combat's
Story
pretty
franchise, which
interesting.
Okay, so
35
they
years
don't have
history.
it being turn based.
Yet
So
while the
okay.
No.
16th mainline
It's more like
series
15, where it's
is
like
absolutely
action.
known to have played any of the
Mhm.
previous games
Action
before
based.
jumping in.
Okay, so
Okay,
they.
so it's a
I
fresh
guess
walk
new
in.
games of. I guess new games of Final Fantasy is probably not going to be turn based anymore. I
The
think they
first
just kinda
true action
get-
RPG in the series. That's what he
Using
said.
the power of the PlayStation 5 to its fullest, the game delivers an expansive, thrilling gameplay experience which we liken to a
Wait,
high-speed
You
roller
can
coaster
you
ride.
can
A
ride.
high-speed roller
the
coaster
dragon?
ride. Yeah, you transform into these big beasts.
Oh my god, that is so cool!
Yeah, there. What are these?
The
Econs?
the summons
Icons?
are not
Oh my
like part
God.
of you.
This would be so fun to play. What the heck?
Is there PvP?
No.
I know, but that's what I want to know. Like it almost like the PvP seems like it could be like really
Ifrit,
good.
Yeah, I don't
classic.
know why they don't have that. They could do that.
All the classic summons.
I think Final Fantasy's
Ifrit.
just never been multiplayer, right? Or
Yeah, they did. They had it for tactics.
oh yeah, that's
but
right,
it-
the tactics thing.
Yeah, they had it for like for mobile. If you play like a mobile Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
There's
I
the
actually I
MOBA,
forgot about
not the
Fire.
MOBA, the what they closed down the
The protagonist
fight-
of our story is
the one
Clive
that's
Barnes,
just
and
a
his journey
battle
takes
royale.
place in the realm of
Mhm.
Valisthea.
Valisthea.
We follow
Yeah.
the epic tale of Clive, Shield of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, as it unfolds across 3 distinct periods in our hero's life: his teens, 20s, and 30s.
Okay, so we go
Okay, so
through a
there's
lot of
time
time in
skips,
his life.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, 3 time skips.
looks like they want to make the Uncharted of the Final Fantasies.
While the story
Look at all the
begins
set
with Clive in his
pieces.
20s, a fully playable flashback will allow you to experience the pivotal events that shaped his past and present. And thus does the curtain open on this newest Final Fantasy adventure.
Look, old castles.
Yeah, it's definitely like built on top of medieval stuff. Feeling not like
Like Final Fantasy, I think
Mhm.
4 was like that. 6 was half like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this scene
I
right
love when
here.
they do that. I love when they do that.
But since Final Fantasy VII, they pretty much went
Well-
futuristic.
Like, so when I hear about some civilization building on top of a medieval civilization, that makes me think of the elves, or like elven or sylvan behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very like elvish thing to do. Like elves in general.
This is so cool. I cannot believe it.
And are those things called beacons or icons?
Navigation in Final
Cons?
Fantasy 16 is driven via
Icons?
a world map.
EIKON. I think that's what the form he turned into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's 6 main
The world
nations,
map can be
and
opened at any time.
there's
allowing players access
magical
to
crystals
They're explaining
called
it, yeah.
dominance.
across Valisthea.
Yeah.
Here,
This
players
looks
will meet
amazing.
new friends, encounter formidable
I love
foes,
this.
and uncover great
Wait, did you
and
say that
wondrous
it's not
mysteries.
it's not like open world type like Final Fantasy 15?
Well, it's more like an action game.
Well, it looks more like Assassin's Creed kind of. a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's not Assassin's Creed in gameplay, but in the sense of like how the story moves around
Looks pretty
Yeah.
open
the
though.
HUD, like how you navigate.
Yeah,
through
it
the
looks pretty
story.
open, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Final Fantasy 15.
Oh my
kind of.
god.
Yeah.
This
That's why
landscape.
I was asking. 'Cause
Wow,
honestly, I would
the
just love to walk
destruction
around.
That's
and
really
the
good.
physics
Did you guys
was
see that?
amazing.
Yeah, can we go back and rewatch that for a
Oh
second?
my god.
'Cause I feel like that was their big display of the physics.
Yeah.
Now this is good. The water here. What is this built with, in house or is it Unreal?
In-house, yeah.
Next,
No.
I'd like to
Yeah,
talk
it's
about
always
okay.
in house.
This is
Final
Luminous
Fantasy
Engine.
16.
Luminous Engine.
Okay.
Final
All the
Fantasy
battles in
15
the
engine, I
game take
guess.
place in real time
Yeah.
and are not turn-based.
Yep, they
As
just
Clive
tell us it's not
progresses through the
turn-based.
story, he will learn a wide array of exciting abilities from the icons that he encounters.
Icons.
Icons,
So it's
okay.
icons.
Let's
Okay.
take a look at
EIKON,
Fire
icon.
Clive in action.
Combat looked really tight.
Yeah, it kind of looks similar to Final Fantasy 15 and
Or
Devil May
Yeah.
Cry style almost.
yeah.
what's
The fighting style is very similar.
what's a blade? What's the one with the girl in blades like blade
Lightning.
like ballerina or like oh gosh. It kind of reminds me of that, where it's like a flurry of blows collectively.
I love this. This will be fun to fight.
And the spells look amazing.
I know.
Yeah, I can't wait to find the combo chains that this game has. I wonder what speedrunning it's going to be like.
Charging spells.
Wow, that's amazing. The weapons are very powerful in this game.
But you only play one character. You only play this guy. It's
Uh,
really his
you,
story throughout.
Wait,
his
so
life,
they don't
yeah.
have like they don't have switch to other characters like they do in Final Fantasy
No.
15? That
Doesn't
kind of
look like
sucks.
it.
I really enjoyed seeing that you could switch characters.
Yeah.
Like even if you couldn't switch it, but like you can kind of like you can't be the character, but you can kind of switch it in combat.
Yeah.
And I really
Okay.
like that because you're able to like test their
You're-
stuff as well. Yeah.
You're definitely going to be able to have different forms on this guy with the icon ability stuff.
Yeah, you transform into
So-
these beasts, but when
Yeah.
you transform, I think it's more of an event thing where it's like a big boss.
Okay.
To unlock
So it's gonna
more
be like-
or upgrade existing ones.
Use your icon to destroy other
Can't decide
icons.
which iconic ability to unlock or upgrade? No problem. You can let the game choose for you.
An automatic build.
like the game can like do a recommended type of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Final Fantasy 16 includes
That's cool.
a range of timely accessories to provide support to those players who may not be so skilled.
So
at
there's
action
loot.
games. bringing them a truly enjoyable experience.
Is there crafting?
Players are encouraged to equip
We'll
Clive
see.
with different combinations of these accessories until they find the one that perfectly matches their own playstyle.
I
See, but the
mean,
problem-
Final Fantasy 15 didn't really have that much
A
crafting on it.
combination I can
be honest.
particularly recommend.
I don't like
is
the
Super
find
Struggle
loot
with action gameplay.
system. I've never liked it in any RPG. Crafting, like,
This combination
these
allows
people hear
players
about
to
these things.
unleash
Why
their
can't they
full
just
Putting
figure out how to
bombs
make
on
stuff
him.
themselves?
just by pressing a single attack button, as well as shifting into
Wait, they tell the
Oh
level
my
of them
God.
too?
whenever Clive is
Jesus
about to be
Christ.
hit by an attack, giving them a little extra time to hit R1 and evade.
There's so much stuff going on. Like I don't know how he's pulls on all
Players
this
could
stuff.
equip an accessory that fully automates
You have
evasion.
to like
As
play
I
it a
said
lot.
before,
Yeah.
I
Get
really
used to it.
encourage everyone to
Yeah.
discover the combination that works best for them.
So it looks like the mobs have attack timers, like pretty set attack timers, and once you know the rhythm of their attack combos,
And for those
you
who
can
want
play
to
around
concentrate
them,
on the story,
dance.
don't forget to choose story focus mode before starting a new game.
Wait, they have different modes?
In this mode, timely accessories are automatically equipped from the start, allowing players to immerse themselves in the narrative experience without
Okay, so
having
you
to
don't
worry too
manage your
much with
loot.
the action.
Wait, recommend those are equitable action games. Recommend,
It's a simplified
action
gameplay.
games which
Yeah, so story
Ah.
mode is no loot.
It's just
Well, not no
automatically
loot, but like
applied.
a simplified.
Clive will meet many
I mean, I
characters
love
along
story,
his
but I
journey
also like
who will
action.
join him as
Yeah.
friends and
I wish they had
allies.
like a mixture of the two.
I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of cutscene in this one. I hear this
Yeah.
is gonna be like Metal Gear Solid 4, like kind of
Oh,
a lot of
Is
cutscenes.
Sidolphus, who becomes
that's
a
probably
mentor
gonna be a
to
little bit of no. I love cutscenes, but like if cutscenes be long as hell, it's gonna take me forever to finish this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like I know another game that had like a lot of cutscenes. I think it was like Tales of Grace. Like they just last forever. You're just like, what the heck?
Clive.
Some of these companions will even accompany Clive on his adventures, fighting alongside him and finding lost.
So you have some allies sometimes.
Wait, can you
That
change
said,
the
players
the
will
type
only
of
need to
game
focus on controlling Clive.
after you have
Party members
like
are
started
fully
playing?
AI
Because like
No,
when you
it didn't seem.
Oh.
It did,
and constantly
I don't.
adapting
It didn't
to
seem
respond
like
to
you could. The way he worded it,
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but the way
He
he
said
worded
make
it
sure to
was
use
like
this one.
before.
you
Yeah,
want.
be sure to use. Yeah, it was like yeah. There's his phrasing was not like conclusive. It did seem implicit.
okay, well when I suspect that people who are like who's gonna be long term players probably first play in story mode, and then after that they'll play action mode, just so they can like do
Yeah. They'll
like to
probably-
enjoy more battles and stuff.
I think you
Yeah.
shouldn't do the story mode if you're gonna play the game for real.
Really?
Yeah, because you're missing out
Because
on
you're
the
gonna
simplified
do a
simplified
lot of
stuff.
side quests and stuff.
You're gonna replay the
I-
game twice for no reason.
Well, I think I want to see the speedrun community, and if the speedrun community finds a use for the two game modes, and one of the two is like good for speedrunning, you know,
Well, of course, the
Um,
easier
Well,
one is
I
gonna
don't
be
think
the
you
first
speed run with the ones with the storyline because they got if they got unskippable storyline.
Yeah, it's
that
gonna
would
be
suck.
all the Final Fantasies are.
video. It's
crap
very
for-
rare. It's very rare that the speedrun community
Speedrun.
runs into cutscenes they can't skip. Most of the time, taking damage just before going into a cutscene will skip the cutscene, and you can do that through all sorts of erroneous things like items. Like, what if there's a consumable that damage you see? Yeah.
Here in the hideaway, Clive will find a shop where he can purchase new weapons, armor, and consumables such as potions.
Oh, is this like the?
Pretty bare bone.
Blackthorn, a highly skilled
I kind of. Oh wait, they have
blacksmith,
forge,
works the hideaways
which
for
means
Yeah.
you can do a little bit of
bringing
crafting.
materials to craft
Upgrade
or
crafting.
upgrade
Okay.
existing items.
Yeah.
So when they say crafting, what they mean
Unlocking new abilities,
Upgrades.
try accessing the
upgrades
To your
is what they mean
weapons.
by crafting. That's not crafting.
Yeah.
It
That's
is.
I
that's
know.
modifying.
Here,
I really wish, yeah, Final Fantasy doesn't really do that. I really wish they did, though, because I love that in RPG games.
Yeah.
So it's like a
Oh, new
practice
combos.
mode.
Especially if you can do like food and stuff for health items.
Yeah.
That would be, yeah.
Or like resistances are specialized to the area, like
Mhm.
Monster Hunter.
The Hideaway is home to a lot of other features as well.
Side quests. Cannot have a new game without side quests.
Hell yeah.
Not
I
only
love
will
side
players
quests.
discover a variety of side quests here,
That's
but they can
that's the
also
main
gain
thing I do in
information
on Final
quests
Fantasy
offered
15.
all around
Yeah.
Val's
Like I just like kept doing the side quest. I barely went through the storyline.
I think there's almost as much in Final Fantasy 16, as much side quests as the main story.
That'll be fun because you get to walk around the map and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Clive. Still busy saving the world?
Mid. When did you get back?
Is this did anyone else see the mouth movement?
Yeah.
The facial animation are really rough on Japanese studio. I don't know why. They just have trouble expressing human faces. Look,
Yep.
they
Yep,
all
they-
have
they-
dead eyes and they move
Yeah,
their
they're
mouth.
really bad at it. Mhm.
Well, the problem is like when Last of Us,
Yeah,
yeah, Last of Us did well, and then it's like
but no
you have
Japanese
to-
studios ever did humans like that.
Wait, they have fast travel?
Yeah.
Oh hell yes! You know how long it took me to travel every time?
Oh, with your car.
Final Fantasy 15? Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're in medieval time. You don't have cars.
True.
You have horses.
But they could have done horses though. Yeah.
Well, they have chocobos.
Oh, true. They have chocobos. Yeah.
Chocobos aren't in every game. I guess the whole chocobo thing's like, why are they continuity? They're like one of the few things that have any continuity between all of them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like yeah, that's true.
Like
Because
Sid.
most of the storylines be different, characters be different, but chocobos be the same.
Goddamn chocobos. Let me tell you about the beast of burden. Okay.
Well, the thing about chocobos that they now is chocobos become vehicles.
Yeah, they're just beast of burden is what I think of.
The environments.
Too bad in Final Fantasy 15 you can't use
My
chocobos
God.
as like
Look at this.
weapons.
Oh.
These are crystals, and, dominance.
Classic enemies and all.
Whoa.
Almost all Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Wow, this boss looks like. This boss
Wow.
looks like it would be really hard.
Yeah, this one looks like a tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Huge beasts. The video has 7 minutes.
Okay.
I love the wolf. I want the wolf.
Wait, you can get other animals to fight with you?
Well, they're
Huh?
temporary allies.
Okay, I don't care that they're temporary. Alright, I love that.
They might be like each region has its own little familiar.
Well, they're part of the story. The people who help you.
I really wish they would still have like partners, like squads or something.
Yeah. But it's the
I
story of
really
Clyde.
enjoy that aspect of Final Fantasy.
Yeah. It's the first time they do this.
Yeah. They gotta make him work alone, like he's kinda
He's the
Also,
like
focus.
Having a sort of Navi little familiar that you can talk to that can also give you advice on like if you get stuck and it's
There's
just like,
no
hey,
familiar.
look at this. There's just a fantasy game that has some sort of companion that helps you if you get stuck and gives you go here to talk to this person, or like, hey, do you try talking to so and so, or like gives you some hints.
Is it just me?
No.
What's wrong with me?
There's something wrong with your mic. You're really glitchy.
This looks like a
Wow,
boss
the
scene.
fighting battles.
Level
are so
37.
amazing.
So this is a high level battle.
Yeah.
And we cannot
Imagine
forget
getting
the
no
icons
scratch though. What the heck?
Experience unparalleled.
Can you hear me now? Is my audio okay?
As Clive takes
Yeah.
command
Yep, everything's
of the
good.
Iconic might coursing
Good.
through his veins and shadows his very limits.
Wow.
The shining point of Final Fantasy XVI, however,
Rise of the
is
Phoenix.
breathtaking icon versus icon battle.
Icon
Icon of
versus
fire.
icon battle.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And they say that the
is-
gameplay for every single one of them is different.
These epic confrontations all play
That
out
is
in real
amazing.
time, allowing players to control their very own icon with their own hands.
Wow.
Yeah, the AI for the combats for the enemies must be really, really sophisticated.
Oh my god. That's really cool.
These battles differ depending on the icon encountered, and every showdown is unique.
I like
Right
these
down
moments
to
in
gameplay.
games.
Players will experience
Yeah,
every
gameplay is
they
going
have
to be
like
different. So
the-
it's going to be like a mini game
to a heavyweight
every time you
wrestling,
have
devastating
icon.
attacks that encompass
I
the
love
entire
that. Oh my
battlefield.
god.
These massive
This looks
scale boss
so
battles
fun,
are
I'm not gonna lie.
entirely seamless, and I can promise you, heart-stopping.
Yeah, I mean, if every combat encounter is going to be different, this is going to be fun. I mean, this is going to be like,
If it looks small compared to this guy. Titan.
Yeah. I mean, he is Titan after all, am I
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Oh my
Oh,
god,
wow.
if that landed, it would have just been like one shot at that point.
The graphics are really good. The music is also something else.
Yeah. You learned
Brimstone.
Brimstone. Damn.
Bahamut.
That is just so cool. I love that.
It's like an Unreal shooter thing.
Well, it's kind of like a one-on-one combat type of thing as well, where it's like
Yeah, but it's evolving throughout the combat.
yeah,
It's like sequence after sequence after sequence.
yeah, like it's like 1v1 in a way.
Look, it's still Titan lost.
yeah, I want to do a shout out to the team that worked on this. I mean, before this podcast, I told everybody this is the game that I'm the most excited about. It's just got so much going on. The team really did a stellar job. This looks amazing.
This looks so
I mean,
good.
I agree. Like I'm excited for this so much. I love Final Fantasy.
Titan. My God, it's just never ending like epic
Yeah.
scenes.
I know. I love that. I would really enjoy playing this game for real.
But is Efrit your only icon that you have?
I wonder about that too.
Looks like he's
Did
only
you get
playing
another
effort.
icon?
Yeah.
So everyone, what did you think? Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Final Fantasy 16 will be available worldwide June 22nd. And there's
June
still plenty
22nd.
that we've left to reveal. Battle content, side content, endgame content, and more. We hope to bring you more on these aspects of the game in the near future. Also, I'm truly excited to finally be able to reveal that Final Fantasy XVI's main theme was written and performed by one of Japan's greatest recording artists, Kenshi Yonezu. We've still got a lot more in store for you in the coming weeks, and I hope you'll all pre-order the game and join us in Balestia on release day. This has been Naoki Yoshida, producer of Final Fantasy XVI. See you again soon.
16プロデューサーの吉田でした。
I don't like the production decision at the very end there to do the sudden
okay, so-
zoom in on him. I don't know if you guys saw that at the very, very end there. But
Yeah,
it's
this
really
is
awful.
Sony
Yeah.
and Square Enix making a video together. You know, a state of play. So this game has been promoted by Sony probably because of the exclusivity deal they have together. But this looks like something else. I find it weird though that they signed an exclusivity deals, considering that all the other Final Fantasies are almost all available on Game Pass or had been available at some point.
They probably just really
So-
new to this one, and there's good business between them, good blood.
Yeah, and they're both Japanese company. They have good relation, I guess. But yeah, seeing this trailer, seeing like the story, the gameplay, it really sold me on the game. I'm probably gonna try this one too. This is like an
What
easy sell for me.
What were you gonna say?
Garden.
Yeah, I have to refresh the Zoom.
Okay, yeah.
So at the very end, I really hate the sudden zoom in on the game dev,
Really?
the lead game dev. Yeah, it was like really like the very, very last little scene. I don't know, but
It's a
the rest of
worthless
it,
scene. It's a gameplay trailer.
yeah. The gameplay was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what we need to focus on, like the gameplay itself.
For
Yeah,
sure.
because that's what we're worried about. We're worried about the game itself and like how it operates and everything. And honestly, the game is amazing. I am super excited about this. I can't believe my eyes.
And
I just can't
personally,
believe my eyes.
this is just a personal taste of mine. I like stories when they focus on one character, a named character. You know, like
Mhm.
Uncharted, it's Drake's story. You don't
Mhm.
do your own character. You don't
Mhm.
create an avatar that can be like
Mhm.
male, female, this
Mhm.
guy name, because then they cannot call you by your name, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
then
I mean,
When they depersonalize,
yeah.
when they specialize.
So you can do a
with-
30-year story of a guy, like if it's not,
yeah, that's what Final Fantasy kind of like is notorious for.
yeah.
That's
And
why I like Final Fantasy.
I really like this one. I really like where they're going. I think it's a really risky move too, because, you know, it kind of shifts from the formula that we had for a long time. I feel like 15 was a great risk. This one is another, like, okay, let's try something else. I hate these bosses. Oh my God. Yeah. So it's going to be a great show, I think. This is going to be visually very interesting. We'll see about that soon too, because this is coming out in the June 22nd, so you don't have to wait that much. So first, thirdly, let's do the reaction to the new From Software trailer of Armored Core 5. Everybody knows about this little developer From Software who developed games like Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Demon Souls. Are you familiar with them?
Mm-hmm.
This is their new game, Armored Core 6. So before they were making those games, they were making a series called Armored Core, which was put on the
Back burner.
back burner for years. Yeah, because the last Armored Core I played was on PS3, and it was like Armored Core 5, I think. Yeah. So it's been a while. Now Armored Core 6, after their fame of Elden Ring. Let's see what they have to offer.
Bandai Namco Entertainment.
Yeah, this is their publisher. They publish Elden Ring too.
Oh, well, I know Bandai. Yeah, I think they made like Naruto.
CyberConnect.
Yeah, the physics are really good so far for this. It looks
Well, this is
pretty
cinematic,
smooth.
so there's no
Yeah,
physics.
Cinematic.
well, the cinematic physics. Okay, I'm saying like that. I'm not happy with the texture quality. It seems very blended, but the physics. So
Augmented human C4621 has awakened.
Wow, like sci-fi.
This is a mech game, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you're a tiny human in a big robot in a bigger world with even bigger robots.
Mm-hmm. Like you're playing Dead Space, kind of.
Four legs. Oh, nice. This one has a tank style locomotion.
One of the infamous handler Walter sounds. Interesting. You ready to climb the wall?
Call sign Raven. Priority subject for termination. High on the list.
A call response from the generator. Watch out.
This kind of looks like a high-level Transformer type game.
Yeah.
I think these kinds of games are important for. I think this kind of technology will come to humanity over the next 100 years, and I think games like this are what'll help, plant the roots for future generations of inventors and stuff who'll be interested in this. Because as I'm watching a lot of this, I'm thinking like, how close are we to this kind of technology? And
So the gameplay looked really, really action. Like it's really. Armored Core has always been like about modifying your robot, equipping it with different weapons and stuff. And we see a lot of that in the trailer. Like you see a lot of homing missile, a lot of.
Pause it.
I can.
Yeah,
Pause,
I'm listening. Yeah, it's just this scene right here. I wanted to talk a little bit about so the texturing. It on the end there looks good because it catches your eye, but if you look really closely underneath everything, but then you hit play and you can see their physics. I know it's just cinematic, but
yeah, because this is not made by the devs.
I know. I understand, but I'm going to critique everything in front of me. I don't care. This, this part right here, this disassembly, whoever did this intro, I think it did good. But let's get to the gameplay and we'll chop that up.
Like some of the weapons, like you have like Logo Squad weapons. You saw some energy blades and stuff. You have like regular machine guns and everything, and you saw a lot of different type of locomotion too. Like one was rolling on the ground, one was flying, the other one had feet.
Almost reminds me of Mega Man. You know?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
there's a lot of big bosses everywhere. Like this is all gameplay. Yeah,
This is insane. This right here, that scene right there, that's
jumping like the thruster and everything. But I feel like I don't see how the big tanky guy could go up like this. Maybe he needs to use the elevator or something.
there's in biology there's some biological
See homing missiles and stuff. This one has like more of laser type weapon and close quarter combat. This one, you see, way different.
I mean, I don't know. If they're on like a really big
Rocket.
planet that's got like a pretty low gravity, you know.
Oh, you see, that was a whip, an electric whip. So
Is this,
there's a big variety of weapons. This is like an ultimate
Yeah.
ability.
does it all take place on one planet, or do we know
No
if there's
idea.
like
This is the only video they released right now. And it's coming out this year, so we'll see pretty soon too. This is 2023.
Yeah, like if you go back a little bit real quick. Not quite that much, but so like that's pretty good. This whole scene right here with this guy is really good, I think. You know, the gameplay cinematics is really what we're seeing. But that scene back there, just go back just a second. It looks like this game so far. Something that I've noticed as a problem with him right there, that whole scene. If you pause it right in the middle of that scene, and you look at the quality, it looks like something that this game doesn't have very well. Is like it's got really good firing animations and like poor front end combat. But then like when things break apart or like when things are destroyed, if you look at in the scene where like the tank's like blowing through the wall, and then even before there was a scene where like one of the robots got blown up. It looks like the visual quality for when things break apart or when there's like models that are broken using and it just doesn't look good in that scene. But like
But like here you have the break of gameplay. Like if you look like here it's cinematic, and then boom, you switch to gameplay. Like here,
I'm saying
look,
that like
there's scene gameplay.
yeah, and so like let's say the gameplay is supposed to bring you to I defeat the boss and
Gameplay,
they fall
gameplay.
apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if the whole gratifying feeling of feeling like you know, it's hard. It's not like I'm not expecting a perfect experience. That right there was really cool, by the way. That Bob, he's got like all the rockets.
To be fair, it's
variety
not like
seems
fully. They're not showing fully gameplay. Like I feel like
Yeah.
if they showed more gameplay, you'd have a different opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
want
wanna
to see like
see-
what it's like in real time.
Yeah, I want to see real time all the assets falling apart and breaking
Yeah.
into their.
Well, this
their
is
pieces.
kind of the only video that they have out, but like maybe if they had
The
like
combat.
a showing would be interesting.
It's about like variety of bosses and combat pretty much. And
Yeah, the front end.
weapon.
Yeah, the front end combat's really good. I just want to see what like the like end of combat looks like between each.
Oh, that scenery though, like it's
Yeah.
so realistic though.
But also the color.
I
Like
can't-
if you look at the color scheme,
It's
like,
vibrant. It's a vibrant
Yes.
color scheme for sure. There's
but
Yeah.
everywhere
like, really
else
good
it was really
saturation.
gray. Really
Yeah.
gray.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the texturing on a lot of the models, but again, like you could see that they put in
Like
splashes,
from
like
here,
on that one.
gray.
Yeah, like there's like a
Mhm.
filter. Even you see in the sand, they put a filter on it.
It's like white,
Mhm.
gray.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of color variation. But
And
yeah,
then just look when things break apart. Look when things break down, when they fall apart.
they just explode.
It's like, yeah, well, like I'm saying, like the visual quality kind of falls apart for some reason when things break
because
apart.
there's gonna be a lot of explosions. You have like
Yeah.
homing missiles that is gonna shoot like 30 rockets at once. So
Yeah.
you cannot do that
Well, no,
demanding animation for
No, I'm
explosions.
Well, maybe they put like some kind of filter on it where like it intentionally blurs it out.
Also,
But I'm just saying something I noticed was like
this is edited also, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah,
gameplay
that's-
and then it's pause processed.
okay. Well, if it's
So-
been pause process, that could be what it is. But it's my only complaint. Okay, I had to find something. So now I guess we could talk about some of the highlights about the gameplay.
Yeah,
It
well, I think that
definitely-
also the From Software has been growing since their fame of Dark Souls and Elden
Oh
Ring.
yeah.
And this I think is going to be way higher quality than what we used to have for an Armored Core game. Like, they didn't have that fame, they didn't have that kind of money before.
That weapon right there, that is so
Um,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Such a
I
cool
love looking at that. Yeah.
But even this
Every
one with
time
like the
that shows
big
up, I like
arms
it.
and stuff,
Yeah.
and like, it looks nice.
I'm not a huge fan of the mecha type games like these, but it does look pretty good. It seems really cool. Like it has a lot of action and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Seems like it'd be fun, like a fun game. To
And it's
play.
gonna be on last gen too, so imagine for the animations and stuff, like, you're pretty stuck with like what you can get. And you know, From Software has never been known for their visual quality either. Like, if you look at Elden Ring, if you look at Dark Souls, like, these are
Well-
not like visually like pushing games. Like, they're not pushing boundary visually at all. Like, they exceed it. They're really experts at level design, combat mechanics, and bosses, I guess. But the graphics has never been their strong suit.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's still pretty good graphics though for what
It's
they have.
good.
Yeah, I think it's still pretty nice.
And for something that needs to run on PS4, I guess that's what you need to expect, you know.
yeah,
And these footage are of course taken on the best platform is probably PC footage from like a really, really high end PC that we see right now.
yeah,
It's probably not gonna look like that on PS4, that's for sure.
yeah. But lower end computers is probably not going to look like that either because
No,
people would
no.
have to put their things in low.
Of course.
Yeah.
So yeah. So next up, for the fourth news, we're gonna react to some gameplay that made a lot of people react this week. It's gameplay from a game that looks so realistic that a lot of people thought that it was real. It's like a body cam footage game that's been developed right now on Unreal Engine 5, and it is pretty impressive from what I've seen. So let's watch
Honestly,
a little bit of that. It's called Unrecord.
I really like this gameplay because it just looks so realistic. Like it looks like you're really outside on like
Into
I don't know Manchester or something. Like
Yeah.
the
Well,
like
run
right
down
off right
building.
there. It looks
Yeah.
dirty too.
well,
Yeah.
I want to comment not just on what we're looking, but how we're seeing it. You guys see the lensing effect?
Yeah.
Where
Mhm.
there's a
It's a body
there's like
cam.
yeah, but I'm saying like it's on a convex lens.
Yeah.
The lens that it has is not a flat. And what that
Mhm.
does is I feel like it pulls the fakeness for some reason. I don't know if you guys noticed, like if you squint, you can kind of see.
Well, that's why he wanted to do a body cam footage. He tried to simulate a body cam of a real cop that would be
Okay.
shown on TV, you know. So
yeah,
we've
it's pretty
seen
realistic, but
true
at
footage.
certain
that
points
looks like
they
that.
can look a little fake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
but-
watch
but-
what it looks like.
The lens, yeah.
There's no
the
lens.
filter.
It's
No, the
it's like
filter
a-
to emulate a lens. The
Yeah.
filter that emulates the lens. Very good. Okay, I'm yeah.
Wow, like it just looks like a real human. I'm not gonna lie, like we're inside a real building. I really like it. I just love this. Like, if this is on VR, like if you could do VR for this,
Oh my god.
it would feel like you are the cop, you know?
Yeah.
That would be so cool, honestly. Like I would get like the immersive experience.
This is incredible.
This is really
Like-
impressive.
Yeah, like you're actually in the building.
Look, they blurred the face to make it look like, oh, it's too real.
Mm-hmm.
That was bad. There was a couple weird visual things there, but
Mm-hmm.
and this
Yeah,
is
sometimes
this texturing.
sometimes they
This,
appear like that.
this is good
but-
though. On the light,
I love
The
the
texture.
water. The
kind of
water is
rich
amazing.
thing.
yeah, everything. I mean, this scene right here is good. I mean, it's really freaking good, incredible.
Ooh, the barrels look a little fake. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Some
tell
of the
that.
props are.
See, but the thing is though, normally we're going the other direction with our critiques on something. This way is like we're barely finding anything to criticize. It's like
Mhm.
it's really just like that. Like everything looks
The
so
car looks so good. Yeah.
I know
This
it
is
looks so realistic.
incredible.
I
mean,
love the stairs. Like
Could be
I
it
real.
just looks
Dude.
like we're in this little small warehouse.
back
Yeah.
in the day, 8-bit, you were like, oh, it's never gonna get better than this. These arcade machines, these graphics are insane. Now it's like,
With interactive
Where
too.
the fuck is Oscar?
Oh, I love this. It's like Splinter Cell type voicing.
I mean,
Awesome.
So this was something else. Like when I saw the first time the footage, I really was like not
Yeah, me
sure. And then you see like the number on the clip, and you're like, okay,
Yeah,
it's like-
I thought it was like a real video of
Yeah.
somebody going inside this warehouse. It's so insanely realistic that it's unbelievable.
yeah, it's really good all the way through here. There's only a few criticisms I have. Like all of this is just so good.
and this is showing like the power of Unreal Engine 5 too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
this is showing what's gonna be possible soon. Well, right now.
In here,
mean,
this
Come with Unreal Engine 6, I believe it's just going to be mind-blowingly realistic. That even humans would probably like the character, like the real
Yeah.
characters would
yeah,
look realistic.
VR, this in VR.
Yeah, it has to be in VR. Like the
Yeah, it
immersion would
has
be
to be.
so.
There, go back up like 5 seconds, will you? 10 seconds. Not too much, not too much. Okay, whatever. Yeah, a little more, back up a little more. This scene right in here. Look, pay attention very closely on the very bottom left. See the can? You can't see it at all. And then he puts a light on it, and now you see it, but then it's
It's a
completely
bug.
gone.
Yeah, it popped in.
Yeah, I like that.
So, well, no, what I'm saying is like the lighting. It seems like in open areas like this, this looks amazing, right?
Mhm.
Very well lit areas,
Mhm.
but in the dark areas, everything just completely disappears.
Well, that's
Which-
like in real life.
No,
Yeah,
not
that's
for
kind
me.
of. I
That's
was
not.
gonna
That's
say.
not my visual. That's not my visual.
Yeah, because
experience.
in real life you need to adapt your eyes and be in
Yeah,
darkness for a
because
long time before you can see.
Yeah, like you wouldn't be able to see certain things sometimes.
From light to dark,
Yeah,
you won't
based
see
on the
shit.
lighting.
If
Yeah,
you
like
you need to
your
let
eyes
your
has to adjust.
pupil dilate, and it takes a while.
I'm
Mhm.
telling you that.
Yeah,
one
eyes
of-
tend to like
Okay,
delay.
maybe
a little bit.
maybe it's just me specifically. You know what? Whatever. We don't have to harp too much on it, but I'm just saying, like, it. You know, I want to see more gameplay, and I want to see in dark areas where things
Yeah.
kind of all blend together in the darkness.
Mhm.
This is very
that's gonna be
early
scary as-
project. This is
That's
very
going to be scary as, but it's like
Mhm.
almost like it like I like being scared in games where I feel like it's not just that I can't see it completely until it jumps up on me. Like
Mhm.
I want to. I like games where
But I feel like
Okay,
at this point,
so-
like it could be almost like traumatizing, like, killing someone and like seeing their reaction. Like
Mhm.
if it becomes like that visually like real, like how are you gonna feel in VR when you see someone's reaction to dying? Like,
yeah. Can
it's-
you imagine going to a therapist and being like, "So I was playing VR and I killed someone in VR and I need to get over it because it was a very traumatic experience for me. And the therapist is going to be like, I don't even know like how they would react to something like that. But I'm sure, like we're approaching and the fact that we have to even think about that because we're really and honestly approaching the age of technology where that kind of reality will be an inevitability.
Because like right now they close their face and everything, but like with technology soon enough you're gonna be like able to like simulate like skin tissue bleeding out and like seeing people die. Like
with what he was talking about earlier about the barrel, there was like a second barrel scene where you could see the second barrel. You can only see it if the light showed on it. Yeah, because it was dark. Yeah, that's the realisticness of it because it's dark. You can't see it unless the light showed on it.
I'm telling you
and in
that
this new Unreal Engine 5, what it does is that you have like ray tracing that simulate real light. So this guy didn't have to do extreme lighting like in other engines. Yeah, the light naturally is one sun, and then the glasses and everything let it enter the building like naturally. So it's like
the problem.
You don't need to do lighting in Unreal Engine 5.
Wow.
The problem
it's like
is
automatic. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, except that the reality of how like light works, every object absorbs photons, but the photons that it does not absorb are reflected, and that is the color that you see. So if you see like a red t-shirt, that t-shirt is every color except the color red.
Yeah, we all know that. Like, why are you talking about this?
Just to lay grounds for what I'm about to say, not to educate you or talk down to you, right? I'm just
I'm talking. Get to the point.
Wait, get to the point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when the way that you described it. So far, my understanding of the Unreal Engine visual, the way that the lighting works, doesn't seem to be conclusive to how reality works in the same way. It seems to be sort of like this is still incredibly good. I'm just saying, like, I'd like to see the objects still hold a little bit of light and bounce a little bit of light.
You understand that the screen is responsible for the light and everything. Like, it has nothing to do the colors that you see with like the games. And, like,
I was gonna say relevance because we were talking about it directly though.
But not only that, but lighting effect in a game is made to see and reflect on objects. Like, it doesn't produce colors.
Yeah,
like in real
I don't
life.
think colors supposed to matter. Yeah, I think you
textures is what makes colors in a video game, and your screen is projecting that light into you. So
yeah, it's just about the visibility of it.
Yeah. So the light in a game is all about visibility. Do you see or do you not see? And the fact is, with the Unreal Engine, they can put one light and it's gonna reflect enough to light up a room naturally if you only have a window, because it's gonna reflect on all the objects and eliminate the whole theme. Which this guy, you see the light coming out from the right side. You see, it's way more. You can see way more there, and it's way darker on the left side of the building because there is no windows. Yeah. So
I think
it's all intelligent.
I think the only relation with colors, like the shade, like when it's darker, it has a darker shade.
Yeah, exactly.
Lighter, it has a lighter shade. Yeah, I think that's the only relation to color. If that's what
well, here's a question. In video games, have you ever seen it where they have an object that has like a bloom around it?
Bloom is an effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an added effect.
Okay. So, you
don't have bloom in a colored texture. That's a shader.
Yeah.
So you need to put a shader on top of the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's why when you were talking about that, and in my head I was going somewhere, and all I was saying was like maybe it would be cool if the different objects, while in the dark, like the can, for example, because so far something I want to draw into view here for all of us is how much of this takes place in the dark. Like I would still
Mhm.
consider this a
lot.
lit area.
Like, look at
Like-
this. And you know how he did the lit area over there? He only put,
Mhm.
he only put a hole in the ceiling. And
Yeah.
the hole in the ceiling,
Central.
look, it's
It
sliding up
ties together.
like way further where there is no light at all. Because the
Mhm.
light is spreading through objects as, um, ray tracing does. It's a ray tracing made by Unreal Engine.
Ray tracing. Okay, gotcha.
They call it lumens.
No,
The technology is called lumens.
Gotcha.
Cool.
I'm excited for the game. It looks
Yeah,
interesting.
this is one of the good surprises that we have. We don't know when it's coming out. It's really early to say. But yeah, for me, it was one of the most impressive thing I've seen since a while now. So,
Mhm.
for
True. This is the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, most impressive game I ever seen. This is the most realistic game I've ever seen.
I'm really
Like,
excited
this
to
is
see what
insane.
they can do with doing a
Yeah.
real project with that. So,
Yeah, I hope that, like, in for future Unreals they can make characters look realistic enough to look like humans, just like
yeah,
the sceneries. Yeah,
If you can
I hope
tie ChatGPT to Unreal like engine game, platforms. Oh my gosh.
well, you can, because it's an open platform, Unreal, so you can add ons to everything.
Well, it being possible and you doing it, realizing, I'm just saying it would be really cool.
So for the fifth story today, we have a big one. It's the Microsoft Activision Blizzard merger that we've been talking about for a while now. It has been stopped by the UK market to protect competition, monopoly problems, with the markets about cloud gaming. Actually, that's the reason they stated as the refusal for them to accept the merger right now. So this is a big hit for Microsoft. They really wanted this merger to happen. Sony was really against it. So now we have confirmation that it's not going to happen. So what do you think about it, Garden?
I don't really have any opinions yet, but it looks like it might be similar to like The Last of Us. I'm not sure if that's the case though. I don't know. I don't really have any opinions out of it, but I'm wanting to see how it performs and whether it's going to be very interesting. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were going to buy Activision Blizzard. So this was going to be another studio that was going to work for Microsoft right now. For all the studios that they bought, like, we haven't seen something really coming out of them right now.
Mm-hmm. I was looking at when I was looking at some articles, like they're talking about like Microsoft trying to buy Activision. I do remember that the UK tried to ban
They did ban
that
it.
thing. Yeah. So I'm kind of interested in because they kind of want the competition to be fair. And so I guess they don't really want like Microsoft getting a hold of like the biggest titles, like owning the biggest titles instead of just like platforms having games are allowed to be like set on their platforms rather than just owned by platforms.
But yeah, and decided cloud gaming. So what do you think about this, Dody?
I think that the American way has shifted a lot to, instead of buying them, just buy out their ability to put out work so that they are responsible when things go south. And I've seen a lot of Microsoft going to things like Nintendo and being like, hey, we want to have you host the Call of Duty games, and that going through. I've seen a lot of Microsoft.
In the statement in the end, they said that this was a lie because they said that Nintendo consoles would never be able to run any game looking like Call of Duty.
I see. So it was a lie. Okay.
Well, in court they decided that this was a lie.
Okay. I see.
And they said that to protect cloud gaming competition, that they banned the thing. So that's the weird thing about it. So It's not about necessarily like the merger is too big. It's more about that in the cloud gaming industry right now, there's not a lot of competition. There's Game Pass that has like xCloud like streaming, but you have like Amazon's Luna, which I don't know if you heard about it, but it's not that popular. You have like Nvidia trying their little thing. You have some other companies. It's not a big market right now. Stadia just closed down, so Google is out of the picture. So right now, if you want to stream games, other than Game Pass, like there's not a lot of options. And if they buy Activision, Activision could be putting their stuff on every platform that could help other services, to sell and everything. So that was kind of interesting, like the statement that they pull out. Right now, personally, what worries me is that since Microsoft bought Bethesda and all of those studios, they didn't release something that was not already in production. That's been great. Like all of the stuff that they came out, like Bethesda didn't release a game right now other than Redfall.
Do you think? Do you think that they're taking all of their games and saying all of the different projects have to be in their own little bubbles and try to keep them to where, like, what am I trying to say? Do you think that they're doing that intentionally so that when each product comes out, it's sold to a specific market so that they can sort of like spread the types of games that they're looking to make out?
I feel like it's more of a management thing where they like buy the studio and then say like do whatever you want to do, and then not enough maybe cooperation from Microsoft to like give them help or thing if things go south, if because you can delay a game and like put another devs on it to help the team that's already worked on it. Like Sony does a lot of that. Like if somebody has a problem with the Guerrilla engine, well, they're gonna send peoples from Guerrilla Games, and in the credit you're gonna have a team of Santa Monica Studio and other big studios of Sony that work on the game that's been developed by one devs. But right now in Microsoft, it seems like all devs are all on their own. Like there's no internal like cooperation between these big I don't think that Bethesda right now, other than maybe like giving licenses to stuff, they're not sending help to, let's say, In Exile that they bought or another devs that they bought. Like,
well, I'm glad I asked the question because I feel like that really reveals a lot about the inside, and I think that perspective, which seems to be informed, helps me understand. So, okay, if everyone's kind of doing their own thing, or at least like,
it's like mismanaged pretty much. Like, I feel like
not enough, like, so like maybe definitely not uniformity, but is there like not enough group vision or like vision between all of them towards the direction where like each group kind of cuts out,
like, let's say one game that came out was Bleeding Edge. Nobody heard about Bleeding Edge. It's like a third person online multiplayer PvP in an arena, and like it's a good dev. These devs, they made Senua's Sacrifice. They made some great stories, and now out of nowhere they're bought by Microsoft. They released this online crap that nobody wanted to play, and then the server went down after a little while because they were not making a good game. And like, why would you accept this team? And why would Microsoft wouldn't go there, see what's going wrong, and then offer help? Because this is not a good product to be released. And like, same thing with Redfall that just came out. We're going to talk about it. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So I don't think that the Activision Blizzard deal would have been good for anyone, pretty much. I'm eager to see if Microsoft can pull out some good stuff with all of the big studios that they acquired. But yeah, it's still to prove. We have Starfield coming out soon. Halo has been mismanaged for years now. Rare has been mismanaged for years now. So is Rare gonna make a good game? Is 343 gonna make a good Halo? You know,
Hopefully, because I do like Halo Infinite, but there's a lot of problems with that.
a lot of
Honestly.
problems. Like, if it was me, I would have sent another team to help. Like, what is going on with Halo Infinite? Like,
They should have just like pushed that back. Like you know how some games
they already pushed it a
they-
year.
yeah.
But if you push it a year and you don't change the team, it doesn't get better, you know?
True.
Like,
That's true.
you need to send external ideas. Like, if you're stuck in your studio, and I feel like the Halo Infinite story was trash. Like, the single player, I think it was so forgettable for me. But like, I don't know.
I think they mainly focused with the multiplayer because they did separate multiplayer and the storyline where you can just play multiplayer kind of free in a way.
Yeah. The multiplayer is free, yeah. But also with Game Pass, you know, the game is pretty much free, also.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, though.
Like
They still offer the free games for Game Pass. But like right now,
Mhm.
all of the stuff that I want to play on Game Pass is not made by Microsoft. It's made by everyone else.
Yeah, that's something that Rick's been
That's-
pointing out to me. Where like I'll be excited, I'll be excited about something, and then it'll be like, oh, just because it's on like HBO's platform doesn't mean it was made by HBO. For example,
Yeah,
like
that's what
The
I
HBO
said
Max
before,
thing,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I remember talking about that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this has been a good development in my opinion. It's not gonna make Microsoft happy, that's for sure. I'm sure that Sony is celebrating this victory for them, but
Yeah, I can see why Microsoft wanted to get Activision. They're like, listen, we kind of need the big titles. We need something in our belt as well. Yeah.
So now for the sixth news this week, we have Jedi Survivor, the new
Yep.
Star Wars game developed by
My
Respawn Entertainment, and it is. I've been playing this game for the last week, and I've been enjoying the hell out of it.
My buddy beat it, and he's been telling me all about it. I'm a cook, and we cook together, and yeah, he I'm not gonna spoil anything. How it
It's
ends,
just me. I haven't finished the game. I think about halfway through. I've got all the new stances. There's a lot of good stances. Like the new blaster one is great. The set pieces like this, they look amazing. The combat with the lightsaber is way more actiony, less Dark Soulsy, more. It's more fluid movement style than it was before on the first game, Jedi Fallen Order, and like the set pieces, the powers, like everything is so good.
Have you noticed that anything Disney touches now has to be like their new format seems to be some main character and a little friend. Like they've got this like big rough tumble offset with this like almost childlike small thing that.
But that has nothing to do with Disney, though.
Yeah, I was asking for relevance in that one too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Mandalorian.
Has nothing to do with Jedi Survivor.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm saying that I saw a parallel between them. Okay. I see in this game again another character who has, the little robot on its back.
Yeah.
And the little robot's kind of this like. Yeah, it's the cute character that offsets the rough, gruff McGee look, and I'm just saying that I've seen a lot of that from the Star Wars, but also in general Disney, and that's all I'm saying. Okay. Not a bad thing. I'm just saying, look at his little friend.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is EA, so EA had the rights to Star Wars for a long ass time.
That's fine.
They Respawn has made pretty much two big series. They made Titanfall, then they made Apex Legend, which is in the universe of Titanfall, and then you have Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. These games, I think this studio
they have a lot of big
Respawn,
titles.
I think this studio Respawn is the best studio they have at EA. Most of the studio at EA shoot out games year after year, like the Madden and all the sports game. But this, they take their time, and the evolution of the first one and the second one, seeing how the open world is now like twice or triple big, like every map in every planet. In the first game, you already go to multiple planets, but every planet is so bigger. And just this Rancor that we just saw took me like 20 times to beat. Like there's still difficulty, but everything. This fight is just one of the best. Like,
I mean, I'm quite interested in it because I'm currently playing Fallen Order. So and then I know this is the continuation to it, but I'm kind of interested because I've enjoyed Fallen Order.
It happens 5 years later, so you really should play Fallen Order, I think, before you play this one, because a lot of the characters comes in with a lot of backstory that you will not get if you didn't play the first one. It's really intertwined as a story. Even the beginning, the intro, I feel like you wouldn't understand much of the prologue if you haven't finished Jedi Fallen Order before.
Yeah, my brother said the same thing because he's playing the new Survivor game as well, and he said the same thing. He was like, "Oh, you have to finish Fallen Order."
And then also one bad thing that I've seen, like the reviews right now are really good, but one bad things that I heard about this game is the performance on PC. I hear there's a lot of problems on PC, even with a 4080.
What kind of problems?
Well, not being fluid with a 4080. You know, you have the best graphic cards, and you still have problems. So you need to
that's very
lower the quality.
So it might not be optimized.
Yes. He already did a statement that the PC version wasn't tested as well, maybe, and there's more to look for when you develop on PC for different hardware, and that it's not optimal on all hardware right now. So for a big budget game like that, it's kind of a big problem.
What I kind of liked about this recent Star Wars series is the main character, because they kind of use that actor.
Yes, from Shameless.
From Shameless,
And this guy Cal Kestis, it's really his story. Like this happens 5 years after Jedi Fallen Order, and it happens between episode 3 and 4. So they really use that timeline to put some stuff in the story.
What I find interesting about games like these, like similar to in Final Fantasy 15, the character, they don't age them that much. Like they only make them have like beards and maybe a little bit of wrinkles.
But, after 5 years, do you really change that much? Like he's already an adult in the first game, and
I mean, I agree, but to make them look like they passed 5 years, they just put beard on them or something.
Well, that's the thing too. There's a lot of customization option in this game. So you can have him clean shaved or like long hair. You can have a mullet if you want.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay.
But it's always Cal Kestis, you just change his facial hair and style.
Yeah. Okay.
So another game that has a good narrative with a single character the way I like them,
Yeah.
It's not a Jedi random that you just created that looks maybe like Darth Maul or maybe looks like a human, you never know.
Yeah.
So Dody, have you played any of these games? Are you?
No, but my friends talked a lot about it, and he said like you had talked about, some of the parts are pretty challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said, but I guess they're two brothers, and they were both playing it. One brother beat it first, and I guess it took the other brother a good couple of days longer to beat it.
Well, you can do a lot of side quests too. Like, I haven't progressed a lot in the story because I've been focusing on a lot of quests. Because after you do like the main quest on the planet like literally opens, and then you can go anywhere on the planets. And then you have new abilities that makes you go through different areas. So you go back to the planets, to other places you couldn't go before. So it's like growing
I
up
like
with time.
I like side quests, so that's very entertaining for me.
And it unlocks new places to go. Like the side quest, like unlocks the map. Like if you go through the story, you can literally miss out on a lot
Wow.
of the map.
Wow,
Yeah,
that means you have to play the side quest, the
Yeah.
side quest.
because at one point
It's
you
kind of
can
like more
go to your ship and go to the next planet, but like there's still a lot of stuff to go through on this planet if you'd like bounty hunts. There's side quests. There's like side bosses. Like the Rancor took me 20 times to beat. It's not a main quest thing. Like I could have not beat him.
side bosses.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like, but he was killing me one shot. Like if he grabs you, he eats you, you're dead. So it's like perfect shot. You need to survive.
Wait, that kind of remind me of that side boss in Final Fantasy 15. They had like this huge boss that literally you can't scrape him. That thing would take hours upon hours upon hours.
Is it the big
But-
turtle?
Yeah,
The mountain turtle?
yeah.
Yeah, I did this one. It was pretty long though. It was like 45 minutes of like just repeated
Mhm.
fighting.
Yeah, just repeat it. But like you always have to heal yourself because he can whack and like take
Yeah.
it like a cat for you. Yeah.
But I didn't
It
find
was-
that really like rewarding because you just have, I don't know, to heal enough. You don't have to be
Mhm.
skilled at all. You just have to be
Yeah.
able to heal.
Yeah,
Well,
it kind of was like
disciplined.
that because there's nothing more
Yeah.
to learn to get that. I
Yeah,
was
it's
thinking maybe
after
there's
game. This is a boss that is after the ending of the game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then there's a lot of stuff in Final Fantasy 15 after the ending of the story. Like there's an after game on this one, and a pretty big one. So another seventh story. There's a new portable console from Sony. They announced that it's gonna be mostly used for remote play. Yeah. So the code name. Do I have it here? It's called the Q-lite. And it was just leaked. It's a project that they have right now. What do you think about it? Like the video was such a failure and now they're trying get back in business.
Yeah, like I did hear that PS Vita was bad, but like PSP was one of the best handhelds to exist. Like
Very
during
successful.
its time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I still love the PSP. That thing is amazing. And I can't believe PS Vita was just that bad in comparison. But
It's not
I'm
that
really
it was
disappointed.
Bad. It's just that the consumer didn't buy it.
Well,
Like,
then that means
It was a great hardware.
it's a
like,
flop.
It's just
It was
a
a
commercial flop. Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. I would say that like I'm a little bit disappointed that it's remote play. Like most of them are going to be remote play because the point of I guess what I like about handheld like the way PSP was like you can just play games on it like a Nintendo Switch or something like. So if for it to most games to kind of be remote play, it's kind of like okay, I see, but it's just not like I guess it's not going to be like like typical handhelds. Yeah.
Is it because of performance or like you're worried that while on the cloud it won't, function as well, or why is it being on the cloud somehow a burden on the system?
Because you cannot
don't
run
know.
games initially on it.
Yeah, like that's what I was.
Right.
I kind of like where you can just play the game on it. Like it's not like you're streaming it. That's what remote play is kind of like,
Right.
in a way. So.
No, yeah, and I got that. It's just is it because you have to like wait? Yeah, but like what specifically? Is it because you have to wait for it to load, or if you just run into
delay.
issues? The delay, yeah.
Yeah, the delay
Yeah,
makes
like-
most game unplayable.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also don't really like remote play type. Like, I want to actually like play into it, kind of. Yeah.
And take it anywhere, because if you have remote play, you're
Mhm.
stuck in your network, you know.
Exactly. Like, because the whole point of handheld is so you can play anywhere.
Yeah,
Like, if you're a remote play, what, and that's just not.
this is just to play
I don't
somewhere
know.
else in your house, like.
Yeah, I don't really like that PlayStation's trying that idea.
Yeah.
I know they're trying new stuff, but I just don't really like that. They should continue something like they did with PSP, but better.
Yeah.
So that they can have like a oomph.
But the problem is that when
people
you
are just
do,
like, yes.
the problem with that is that when you do another product like this, they already have PlayStation 5 and PlayStation VR. So now they have to develop games on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation VR. So they're already splitting their devs onto a system. But if you add a portable system, you still have to put some other devs on it. You know, the guys who made Days Gone, they were making PSP and PS Vita games before. Like, that was their first console game. So we would lose that dev if they would have a completely handheld console. So for the devs type, I think it's going to make them less split on different projects. I think it just shows that they don't want to focus on that too much.
Well, they should have held back making a handheld then. They should have just focused on like PS5 and like the PSVR and then they're coming up with PS5 Pro, so they should have just focused on that instead of just trying to let's come up with a new handheld. Like, chill, like, relax a bit, just focus on the other stuff. That way they can actually make a handheld that would be entertaining.
Do you feel like the resources that they put towards the handheld would make a big difference in their other things? Like,
not really, because an handheld like this,
I don't think so either.
Is really not much to do.
That's what I'm saying. I think
it's just a handheld. Yeah.
And there's no hardware to like run games, so you can pretty much just make a really cheap device. That's the thing, though. If the Q-lite is going to be $100, now I can understand. It's more of an add-on to your PS5. But if it's like, because you pay for the screen pretty much, you know.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's probably why they wanted it to be remote play, so that you can just play any games, but on the handheld, so it not be limited. Like, I can understand their point,
but I can see them making it really cheap.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Should.
Like,
they should. Yeah.
That's why, like, I really like the idea of the PSP, and you know what? Maybe late down the road, the community will mod them and add that like onboard memory that we want, you know, and it'll have like a 2 terabyte something. Who knows?
Because you could do a remote play with your cell phone too right now, you know?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So this is just a bigger, bigger screen.
Yeah, just like with Steam and stuff. Yeah.
With a controller maybe and stuff. A little gadget.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds okay. For me, I'm really not interested.
I'm pretty.
I have an apartment, so I'm gonna play in my living room if I need to play. It's not like I can go in 15 different rooms anyway. So yeah. So next up, let's talk about the 8th topic this week. It's a weird one. This one is called a new game called Mindseye, and it is announced to be developed on Everywhere. Everywhere is a game platform for people to develop games on it. I'm gonna put up the video right now. It's pretty weird. So this is the trailer from Mindseye. Actually, do you both of you know Dreams on PlayStation?
No.
It's like the game made by the Little Big Planet, and it's like you make your own games.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I never heard of that one.
I remember that. Yeah, I do.
Everywhere is supposed to be like that, and Mindseye is supposed to be a game made in that engine or that game.
Gotcha. That platform.
That game, yeah. Oh, there's no sound.
Activating. I know what I have to do.
Everywhere. So this is the trailer for Everywhere. So yeah, this is a weird one. So these devs have announced this game that they're making on a game that's not released yet. So
It's
what
not
we
yet
see,
rated.
Garden, we talked about before the show about Fortnite, what they're doing with the Unreal
Mhm.
Engine and how to make a game. How do you
Yeah.
feel like they can compete?
I almost feel like when I was reading articles, they're saying things like they're kind of late, and I kind of agree because their concept they were looking for is very similar to what Fortnite is doing, and Fortnite is a huge, it's just a huge thing, and it would just kind of trump this company. But I do feel like I think it's okay to jump into the bandwagon because I feel like more games will also kind of do the same thing in a way where they're kind of like doing a similar concept.
Well, we
So
have
they
right now
can kind of-
Roblox that's very popular.
Yeah,
Minecraft can be a little bit like this.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, Rust, the video game that I play, is actually a different game called Gary's Mod, which is a lot like what you're talking about, Rick, where Gary's Mod is the OG, a game that you make video games inside of.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. This one is trying to do it similar to like Fortnite and stuff, where they can actually have like developers and people
Mhm.
create like their own game in there, and where I don't know, like
But
the way
Fortnite
is being-
also has the Unreal Engine 5 behind it.
exactly like
Everywhere
kind of-
has their own stuff. They
Yeah.
have to build.
and also the creators will kind of get revenue from that, so which is what Fortnite was thinking about, which I think that's why I think Fortnite will always like be on top with this, but I think this would be like in a second place. I don't think that they're gonna completely flop. I think they're just gonna be like like the next thing.
Well, see,
in second
it seems also like some kind of ambitious project, maybe a little too ambitious, in my opinion.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
sometimes they fix their thing, or everywhere, or you do everything, and then it ends up being nothing.
Well,
Not
when you
being that
say-
case. Yeah.
Yeah, he means pretentious. Maybe
Yeah, a
that's the
little
word I
bit.
would pretentious.
And like
Yeah. I feel like they might be a little bit too much talk and not, and then when it's the result is not as much as what they were talking about.
And like from the trailer
Yeah.
of Mindseye, like other than cinematics, there was barely a small scene in a car. Like there's not a lot of
Mhm.
gameplay over there. Like
Honestly, there
I know.
wasn't really much showing. I was kind of like, I need to see more of this. I need to understand more of it.
yeah,
It's just like I don't know.
and
a
they're
little
not
bit,
saying like a lot. They're announcing, but without
Yeah.
that much information right now.
exactly. That's why I was like, we'll see, I guess, because
Yeah.
that's what's up with that, you know?
It was the same thing with Dreams when they came out.
pause it.
They didn't
Pause it
know
for-
how to explain the game, to people.
Go back to the back one more. Yeah. So if we pay really close attention, this is three things. You see the center with the spire and the platform where there's the vegetation and
The
mezzanine
city
area, right? And then you see the mountains.
Yeah.
And then you see the sky.
Mhm.
So pay very close attention to. This looks like it was just sort of 3 different scenes on top of each other. Is this gameplay footage or just more fancy
This
visuals?
is gameplay, whatever. This is in game, I guess. In engine.
So pay close attention to the difference in them, because you can see they're very separated to the point where, like, you know,
these rocks right here, don't they look familiar?
They look like a
it's like
Fortnite thing.
Yeah,
Look
not only a Fortnite
cartoonish.
thing, but they also look like those rocks you see in, like, the Windows, like not the screensaver, but the Windows, like, before you log into the computer, or
Yeah.
Well,
or
it's
I think
because
Windows 10 had like the backgrounds. Yeah, like those rocks are so familiar.
between Utah and Colorado and Devil's Canyon, that's where they are. There's a lot of them there.
And if you look at footage like right here, there is, when they show all the small footage, you can also see a shooting phase that looks a lot like Fortnite. Like if you look right now,
that
one,
game,
that one.
Yeah, that one, and there's a game
this one.
before that, like that looks like that. It was like that undercover game. I don't remember what it's called, but like you have to go undercover and you have to battle with other people in order to I don't know. I guess you steal the money or something, and you have to finish with your team. I forgot what that game is called, but it kind of looked like that. Yeah.
So that was a really weird one this week. So now for the last story today, we have a new release on Xbox Game Pass that is called Redfall. Redfall is a new game released by the studio who made Dishonored 1, 2, and Deathloop. So they're a very well-known developer who just released a really unappreciated game by most of the critics and most of the players. So yeah, this is one of the first big projects that was released as a big AAA title from Microsoft since they bought Bethesda. And this is Arcane Studio, one of their best studio. And from what I hear, this game seems unfinished. It looks like a beta and an alpha of a 2A game that is not the quality that you'd expect from a AAA studio like Arcane. So what happened? What is going on? I hear the missions are really bad, repetitive. The open world is not that impressive. I hear the enemy's AI is terrible.
Did they rush this game? Like, what's up with that?
It looks like it's been rushed. But
wait, but how come it's an AAA game where they spent so much bucks on it just to make it high quality?
And they also publicized and made a lot of their big statements on Redfall saying like it's gonna be something big. Arcane Studio next game, and now this comes out.
Something I'm thinking about is kind of a strange way to look at it, but the years that take all the team that work on a game and add the years of gaming experience that they have together, I feel like that could be a really interesting way to look at sort of the potency of the team. And when they put the money out, that does not guarantee in return. All that putting the money out seems to guarantee is that someone will take it. Like,
you mean like Arcane Studio just making whatever they want?
No, I'm saying that they might have new people, like people who are not as experienced, but they need them to get the experience so that they can continue to expand. So they give them something like this, a big project like this, and then they just expect to carry the loss or whatever happens with it because they know that team needs experience.
Yeah, but this is all stuff that are.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. All speculation.
Of course.
You can.
That's why I'm asking. That's why when I asked, how many, like, the team that worked on this, are they a very seasoned team, or is this a unseasoned team under the title
of a team? Yeah. The thing is that this is their main dev at Arcane.
Interesting.
Like the second team is the one who released Deathloop, who received 10 out of 10 on IGN. Like this is their second team in Lyon, France. This is their Austin studio in Texas. This is the one who made Dishonored 1 and 2. The biggest game that they are known for is Dishonored 1 and 2. And now they're putting out this game. What is going on? It's, I know one of my friends downloaded it. I was like, I'm not going to try this game by myself. So let's play it together. And in the end, he was saying, I already deleted it. It's one of the worst games I've ever played. Wow. Like the loot, they said that is one of the like worthless loot system. The money that you win in the game is, and the reward that you have for doing missions is one of the least interesting monetization system in a game. It's not that you have to spend a lot of money, it's just that it doesn't give you interesting stuff. Like, and the fact that all the 4 classes have access to all the same weapons.
Yeah.
They are now just 2 different abilities and 1 ultimate per guy.
Absolutely. That, you know, I was playing a tabletop game where somebody had like a system where you could just make weapons and stuff or whatever. It's like I was playing a melee character and they let me make, like, whenever you have a game where the combat system doesn't feel special or unique or featured or whatever, like what you're saying, if that's the case, that sounds awful. That sounds like that would it's like, well, at that point, whatever. Yeah, sorry. At that point, just play whatever, you know?
Yeah. The thing is I don't know what's going on. Like, from the trailers and everything, like, you would think that the girl with the abilities of a sniper would only have access to sniper rifle. So then the guy who's an assault can do a strategy and be an assault rifle guy. But because of they can all use the same guns and all the same stuff, then it's just a matter of, I have 2 abilities. And it doesn't make you feel special. It doesn't give you a work to do in the team. It just makes it so you can play either alone or with people, and it doesn't change that much. So, yeah, what happened at Austin, Arcane Austin, I don't know. This is a really big failure. And some people are starting to ask about the Microsoft buying all these studios. Is it really a good idea? Are they going to push these games that are maybe lower budget because they want to push it out on Game Pass for free? Like, what is going on? It cannot be like that. We cannot lose another Rare, another whole Bethesda publisher going to trash. Like, I feel less and less good about all the Microsoft buyout that happened throughout the last few years. Less and less confident.
Yeah, I think when you told me that this is their main dev, it didn't really answer my question, or what I was trying to understand is, do you know if that main dev, who's sort of the senior, has like a whole bunch of new people underneath him, you know?
The merger didn't affect like staffing or whatever. Like when they bought Bethesda, they left it managed as it was before. They just
okay. So it's the same team. They didn't change throughout all the games.
Yeah. Well, they changed throughout the games, yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm asking. It's like,
but this is irrelevant because this is like every dev is always gonna hire new people every project. Mm-hmm. Like there's no game where they don't hire more. And usually in the gaming industry, sometimes they even cut after the game is out. So they go on pre-production for a while and then.
So what you're saying is that it's a constant random thing, which to me would mean that it would be extremely relevant. But, you know, it doesn't mean that I have any answers to why it didn't turn out. I mean, it's hard for me to tell from this gameplay, you know, from the cinematics, that the game sucks or that it might be incomplete.
Or I think
there's
you're
not a
just
lot of, like-
overestimating the hiring in the gaming industry. I mean, it's like a movie studio. Like, do you think that the change of cameraman is going to change anything about the movie?
Do I think that changing the camera angle will change
The
anything about
cameraman,
changing
the guy who
cameraman?
holds the camera or the focus puller,
Yeah,
like, do you think it's
it
going to
would-
change
it wouldn't
anything about the
change
movie?
anything. No, unless he's like too
I don't-
shaky. Or
I don't-
whatever.
I don't
It doesn't
think-
change
So
I don't think
unless
Rick-
you change like the director,
I don't think Rick
the
is-
higher end of
I
the
gotcha.
studio, you won't
Uh-huh.
affect the quality of the game.
Yeah, I didn't think Rick was asking a real question.
Oh, you thought it was a rhetorical question? Gotcha.
Oh, it was a real question.
I didn't.
It
think
looked-
was.
It sounded like one, but it sounded like a rhetorical question. But yeah, that's why he was wondering if it was real. Yeah.
So like if you have a movie and you change a cameraman, like it doesn't change. Like if you have new programmers, like new artists or anything, like they still work with the team that was there at the time. Like
If you have
they're going to
somebody
be
who's
integrated to the new team.
Sure. Well, let me ask this: if it was a cameraman, it was his first day, and he never been on a set, and you're going to have him do a big production, is that going to be the same as somebody who's been doing it for 20 years? And then you ask me, do I think, changing the cameraman is going to affect it? And then it's supposed to be a rhetorical question, where obviously by your tonality, it's signaled to me that's going to be a no. But in my head, I'm like, I'm just trying to understand if there's new people there. Was my whole focal point. Because if you have somebody who's new and, they step up to do the camera and the director's like, you know what? Fire him, get a new one. At that point, how can you even lay down the grounds of evaluating whether or not changing the cameraman even becomes in point? If they can't do the job, they're going to get fired anyway, becomes the rest of the conversation. So
because all
there's
of the
nothing
thing
to
that you said is
engage.
all irrelevant because it's all about managing people. Like it's all about you say it's only a problem if the guy is unexperienced and you hire from the street. Yeah, of course, if you hire a shit cameraman, it can affect the movie. But if you have good management over there, they're going to oversee that. They're going to see that the cameraman is shit. He's going to be fired. It doesn't change the quality because
That's
in
what
the
I
end,
just said.
you're going to
That's
have
what I just.
firing. You have
Yeah,
firing if you have problems like this.
Are you agreeing with me, or I don't understand what you're trying to communicate to me?
I'm
I gotcha.
disagreeing about the relevance of any new employee at a
That's
big
great.
studio like Arkane.
That's great.
Arkane is like
All right.
300 people. It's a lot of a
So-
lot of employees.
If you're telling me that you don't want me to talk about those kind of topics and that it's irrelevant and that you disagree with its relevancy, that kind of attitude in the conversation just makes me want to disengage. I'm curious, trying to understand the things that I don't know a lot about, and you're saying that it's not relevant. It seemed like that's kind of where my mind went. You're very dismissive of me trying to inquire about understanding on those
Well,
things, but
because
that's
I
fine.
tell you it's irrelevant, so we should switch topic. But you still want to keep on the
Yeah, that's what he's
subject.
trying to say.
I don't know why you want to
just
keep on that subject because I just showed you how
Yeah,
irrelevant
just
it
change
is.
the topic because it says it's relevant.
Yeah,
It's
no, like I
relevant.
said, I understand.
I wanted to
like, you're-
disengage too from the subject because I think it's
Yeah,
irrelevant.
that's what he's saying. Yeah.
But yeah, so Redfall, big studio, big messed up. I think that I'm very worried about all the big names that they bought now. Are they gonna manage them as they did with Redfall? I don't know. It's a problem. I think that we saw the same thing years ago when Microsoft bought Rare, but people forgot. Rare has been doing amazing game on Nintendo 64, on GameCube. Now they're bought by Microsoft and they did Cameo, Perfect Dark 2, which nobody liked. They made Sea of Thieves, which is also kind of a flop. if you look at the background of the
everything is
studio.
bad. Ew.
Rare has been, I think, destroyed by the Microsoft merger. They used to do Donkey
What
Kong
is going
Country.
on?
They used to do Star Fox. They did plenty of Conquer Bad Fur Day, Donkey Kong 64, GoldenEye 64. They made so many classics. And now they're bought by Microsoft and they don't do good. Same things when they
That's not good for Microsoft, right?
and look at 343. 343 is a studio that was created and managed by Microsoft. And
Yeah,
they
that's why
do-
you can only play it on Xbox. But then they flopped.
They
Like,
also
come
created
on.
what they called a 4A studio, which is like they took like some of the biggest talents in the industry. They made a studio called the Initiative, and they're supposed to do a new Perfect Dark. Have you ever heard of a new Perfect Dark? They had one
No.
trailer. They've been created 6 years ago, and there's nothing to show. Fable, they just announced that we haven't seen anything. So like Starfield is gonna come out after that. I don't know what to be excited for on the Xbox side. I think it's gonna be another bad year. If Starfield is bad, I feel like Microsoft is not gonna have one good game this year, other than Hi-Fi Rush.
Maybe that's kind of why they don't want Microsoft to kind of buy Activision Blizzard, I think.
Well, no, that's a
Like-
personal thing to me. Like this is not by law. Like
Oh, okay, I see.
you know, like
I mean, I understand that, but maybe in the personal aspect, I think there's something out there too. You know.
yeah, it could
as
be
well.
because
Yeah,
like
it
they
could be
destroyed
a
lot of people.
possibility.
Don't
I
you
don't
think
want
that
my game to
Blizzard
be-
has already been destroyed by the Activision merger?
Probably.
Since they've been merged with Activision, like it's all corporate stuff now. It's like a WoW
Yeah.
expansion every year. It's always like marketing stuff. Like they're gonna do Hearthstone, card games, first person shooters, MOBA, like whatever sells.
Mobile stuff like Candy Crush, yeah.
Well, they made the Heroes of the Storm. They made
No. I hadn't heard of that. Yeah.
Diablo 4, which is coming out pretty soon. We'll see how that goes. Like Diablo 3, when it came out, it had like a lot of problems. Like being online only was a big problem. Like having a store inside the game that you could pay with real money, that I think was also a big problem. But trying to monetize everything in Activision is already, I think, a big problem. Like
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of Activision game that doesn't have a lot of DLCs, you know. But yeah.
Okay.
But you, Dody, would you be interested in trying Redfall at all? Like,
Do you
No,
have
not
any
I'm nope, not interested. Nothing to say.
first person shooter.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really look that appealing looking at the trailer. So
I'd really rather just play like Back 4 Blood than this, sincerely.
Okay.
What the hell? But yeah, so that would be all for the show this week. There was a lot of good topics, a lot of good things to talk about. So if you want to say shout out Garden.
Yeah, like it was very fun. I enjoyed a lot of big titles, and I'm kind of excited for new things that are going to be coming out. And if anyone wants to find my socials, just follow me, Luke Mummy on YouTube, and that's pretty much it.
And you, Dody?
Appreciate you guys letting me be on here, and I had a good time, and you know, quite the shake up, and yeah, thanks for letting me be on.
Yeah, so let's see you soon for the next episode of the Progressive Gamer podcast. It was a pleasure for me to bring you all these news, and let's see you on the next show. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
And stop recording. This is